kind of want to watch. I kid you not, I was actually watching this. I was literally just watching this trash talk.
Did you feel that pressure to like prove yourself to the community at that time to that you could keep up that level of results? Like, was that impacting you at all?
The main thing is that I want to talk about is, yes, the pressure is there, right? The pressure is always going to be there, but it's the way you see the pressure. At first, it was eating me. I was like, man, I have to prove like I'm the best every day, and I'm no longer the underdog. You know, I had these people, they have a target on my back, and I have to show them. That's not a way, a reliable way of seeing things. And the main change you're gonna see is I had this underdog mentality, and I had people hyping me up and making me ready to win. So I won the Capcom Cup, but then when I was up there, I wasn't prepared to stay there. So 2018, 2019, you see that downward trend. It's like, oh yeah, he's still a great player, but it's not the world champion anymore.
Right.
But why does it stop at 2019? Why only 2 years? Why suddenly it starts creeping back up again and again and again and again and again? 2019 at the end is the year I signed with Bandits. When you have the right team around you, that's it, man. You just need the right people around you. Nobody can do it alone. It's impossible.
Don't be a dick.
Side of the
That's my like number one rule. It's like, okay, look, as much as give a shit about like online, all this stuff and everything, and complain about playstyle, like playing a playstyle is understandable, like someone plays aggressive, I hate the way he plays aggressive. It's like, yeah, sure. But in real life, I'm not gonna be a dickhead to you. With Noah, I'm like, yeah, he plays in a weird, unique way, but I mean, I don't have nothing against him. He doesn't have nothing against me. We chill, cool. Unless you provoke me and all this stuff, and you insult me, then I'm all right, cool. Then I can clap back because it's fair game.
I've seen it. I've seen players who go, I want to quit. Like, I don't want to keep pursuing this. I had success, and it's pushed me in a direction, a little taste of success, and the feedback I got from it was not what I expected. And I think that's terrible, but it's a reality of life. So I think what we need to do is, like you sharing your experience, I think that really helps.
What doesn't do that? Yeah.
I'm sure there's somebody who's going to listen to this and realize, okay, like I'm not going to let this stop me from pursuing my passion and trying to give it my all. Only from my criticism of this.
So this is the part I want to talk about because he talked about CPT
now. And part of that is because they've distributed a lot of places to qualify via the World Warrior program, which I think is an amazing thing to give opportunities to all these regions that wouldn't have CPT formats. However, my concern I bring up, and I wonder what you think about this as someone who's kind of made it from a region that didn't really have these opportunities originally. My concern is when you build up the players in their own region online, the audience doesn't get the opportunity to learn about the players themselves and the history, because
I can do that.
First of all, people don't tend to watch these online tournaments, right? They're not engaging. There's no humanity behind it because you can't see the players, you can't see the passion, you can't see the hype. And two, they don't get to gauge them against players that they have established and know where they are. Like, oh, when Tokido went to South Africa and lost to JBM, I know Tokido is godlike, therefore JBM is godlike, right? When you went to Capcom Cup and you beat Tokido, same thing. It's like, well, Meta RD must be godlike. He beat all these godlike players. I cannot deny this, right? So I feel like there's an issue with that right now where we're not building up these players before they get into Capcom Cup for people to know about them. And because there's this lack of international cross-pollination against known players, it's really hard for fans outside of that region to start appreciating these players and their talents. And when they get to Capcom Cup, even if they have a stacked group or whatever, it's one tournament. And if they don't perform, people go, oh, I knew it. They weren't good to begin with.
Yeah, now this CPT is ass. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but if you ever look at it, I mean, right now this year, who was suffering because that was Dual Kevin. Got second at C3, third at ECT, then he got second again, then he qualified through the Midwest World Warrior. But it's like the fact that winner takes all, and granted, like the prize pool is hella not consistent. Like for example, Evo, Punk won 21k versus Mena winning 3,200. Bro, that is not sustainable.
It's just mainly online. And the reason is that we have to understand a pandemic happened, right? And they never made the shift. But right now it's not good at all. Like I can say it. It's not the best product Capcom has put out, and I feel they know it. I feel like they know, and changes should be coming soon. I do feel like you shouldn't sacrifice a platform to create another platform that doesn't even do the same thing that the first one does.
Been right here.
I believe the CPT before highlighted the best players in the world. The issue was that the audience was getting, a little bit overwhelmed of just Japanese talent. It's just Japanese players, and
Right.
they don't have any storylines. They don't have someone relatable to root for, yada yada. But when you start spreading out and bringing in these regions, then that balance, that's when it comes together beautifully. Every time I remember that Capcom Cup 2015 with the one Kazunoko one, I remember I watched Keoma make top 8.
Hey, Keoma.
And I was so proud of him. I'd never been to Brazil. I don't speak Portuguese, but I was proud because I saw Latin America there, and he was playing at the highest level. You feel me? But when you're just beating your own friends to make it to the World Cup, and then fighting your own friends there, like it happened
Yeah.
Kava and I, JPM and Ren, they fought in pools because it's random.
Yeah.
Like the product is not good.
Groups of last year literally was like friend against friend. This was literally, where is it? So Mena had to play Kava. JPM and Ren had to play each other. I don't know how they're doing it, but what is it? I could play like Nokodu again, like you guys see in TNS, something like that. Like it could be I play Nephew. It could be like that where I just play Uriel and other one where I've played them so many times.
But the World Cup should be mainly filled by the best players in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
And when you see that representative perform well there or even win it, then that's a story because you're beating the best of the best. You're not beating the best of this region that qualified beating his friends, and then this guy that qualified beating his friends, and then maybe 3 or 4 from the strong regions in the world. Like, come on, and then the format is random. There's no seeding. So the best in the world might just eliminate themselves.
Right.
Like, come on. Like, we're going to have a situation like what happened last year. And you don't want that. You want that, but you don't want that because you can have what happened last year happen again. You have a guy from nowhere. You have a storyline like it happened with Uma. This guy won't disappear. He disappeared from the world.
Who's Uma hiding from?
Right?
He's just not playing.
He didn't have that love.
He literally has like played here and there, especially when characters came out. Like he'll play and everything like that. Get a feel for the game if like a match happens, but he doesn't have to enter anything. He doesn't have to. He's a millionaire in his own country. Uma doesn't have to do shit.
You don't have the difficulty in the World Cup for someone like that to not win. And it's not a disrespect to Uma. He played like the best.
He did the smart thing
in the world. But I feel like if it was a little bit more challenging, maybe he will have stayed because he will love the game. He will be like, bro, I can't leave. I have challenges to make. I gotta win. But then he wins.
Yeah, you don't see a challenge.
But he was doing online. It worked in Capcom Cup. He got a milli. He was like, I'm not doing this again.
It's not worth it. It's 100% not worth it. Because imagine I'm telling you, hey, fly out from America, right? Let's say you live in California, right? I want you to fly to from America. I want you to go to France, and keep in mind, like UFA was definitely stacked. Like I want you to come out on top number 1 with all these players. I wish you luck.
Yeah, because the path Uma took to get there, right? He qualified. I forget if it was the regional finals. I think it was his regional finals for his CPT online region, and
it
part
was
of
a
doing
blend.
that was Chris Wong too. Like the people he beat were the same people he beat to qualify again. So he almost went through the established path where he knew he could already win. He didn't have his groups were still new players, but he wasn't facing the players throughout the season that had established themselves as the best in the world to climb the ladder. Like I'm taking out number 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then getting the cup. Right? He took out a few strong players, and then the people he already knew he could beat to win. So I can see how that wouldn't culminate to this feeling of triumph at the end.
Also, the messed thing about the format is that if I win Capcom Cup and I see this format again, I'm done. It doesn't make sense off the bat if you tell me only first place gets in. So it's either get top 2, get first place, or have a good few tournaments here and there, and have a good day in the region. It wasn't like GN wasn't going crazy hard on like winning stuff as much, but at least he was consistent. He was always consistently placing top 8. It's like, all right, it's rewarding you with consistency. Heavily Japan favorite, but they also care about their fighting games and players. It's like the reason behind this.
You don't want the number 1 and number 2 player eliminating each other round 1. And then on the other side of the bracket, number 1 beats number 2, gets to the top. And then at the other side of the bracket, you have players ranked 100 through 80. So the 80th best player makes it to the top to fight the number 1 ranked player, and then it's a wash, right?
Why is so-and-so playing guy or something like that? I'm like, I don't know, bro. Seeding. Then people will twist your words like saying, oh, so you just want Punk to win. How did you get that? Because I know if I keep going on, it's going to be just a whole ass. I'm going to just keep going into this stuff because I watched like half of this, or like I listened to half of this.